Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a todos. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear and I'm the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password. Today is Sunday, July 17th, 2022. And we're continuing with our annual theme, which is Living Everyday Wonder. The topic for this month of July is relationships. And the topic for this week is You and Me Create Society. We open each week with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer. It's also known as spiritual mind treatment. This is a powerful tool and a practical tool that shifts our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. I'll be reading today from July 16th, 2014. And just a reminder that spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. In an awakened state, I realize there is one consciousness, one infinite love, and one wisdom that I call God. This one is the very essence of life itself. It exists in, through, and as me. All that it is, I am too. As I go about my day, engaging in my own dreams and desires, I am aware that those around me are also experiencing their own personal encounters with life. Deep within my heart, I sense our oneness, and from this place, I easily align with the hearts of others. I see no separation between others and me. I open my heart to give love, and in doing so, I am bathed in a blissful peace and sense of absolute calm. As I pour my compassion into my world, it transforms my life for the good. In this heart-opened attitude, I know that I am one with all. I rejoice in the light of infinite possibilities that transform my world to experience peace. In the deepest gratitude, I release this word, and so it is. And that was originally submitted by Reverend Tina May Wilding from Calgary, Alberta. And as we do each week, let's together review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, which is to educate and support each other so we can create the life we desire that works for us right now. And this is further supported by our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And once again, I'd like to welcome everyone. Here we teach a philosophy called the science of mind, and we honor all faiths, all paths, all traditions. Everyone is welcome. So as I mentioned, we teach a philosophy called the science of mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. And we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And as I mentioned, we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes was asked to provide a concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion, applied to human needs and aspirations. Each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message. We are currently meeting Sundays at noon on Calle Venezuela, number 232 on the rooftop. Come and hang out with us, and afterwards, enjoy some great conversation with like-minded people. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, you can post them online wherever you are watching the replay, chat with me in person, or send me a direct email, and I'll be sure to respond. Last week, our focus was on the relationship we have with our friends, family, and community. This week, our focus is the relationship we have with society in which we live, while recognizing that there are many nuances and intersections to what these relationships mean, how they are formed, and how they influence not only those within that particular society, but how they affect the global society. We are invited to look at and look for ways that we can encourage society to nurture and embolden happier, healthier, compassionate, equitable, and loving relationships for all people. Living, moving, and being the expression of a unified society calls us to a new paradigm, a new evolved way of being where we practice the teaching as a beloved society. We're invited to embody love not solely in the individual manner, but rather in a collective manner. In the book, Love and Law, Ernest Holmes wrote this: "Unity is the basis of all that there is, but there is but one God, but one mind, but one spirit, and but one power. When I embody myself and my thoughts selfishly, I am separating myself from that which I think would be my good." You may think that this is a very subtle thing and could not be the reason for so much trouble. It is the foundation of most of our troubles. I am unconsciously separating myself from my good. So here's an interesting and powerful story of the difference one person can make in society. Mamie Webb Bledsoe of Duke Durham Neighborhood Partnership uses dialogue to lift voices in the Duke Durham community. For 2 decades, she has worked tirelessly as an activist who facilitates community processes that amplify the voices of residents in historically excluded African American neighborhoods of Durham and empowers them to become decision makers in their own communities. Her humble, powerful leadership in bridging divides and identify institutional resources and local partnerships has made these changes possible. In order to understand the breadth of her impact in Durham, it's important to learn more about the history of the neighborhoods that surround Duke University and how her life has intertwined with that history. In the 1990s, they served as a significant economic shift in Durham as its tobacco and textile industries were receding. As a result of loss of jobs for residents, community morale and quality of life was decreasing and crime was increasing. At the same time, Duke University was on the rise. This led to an influx of highly educated outsiders who assumed leadership positions on the boards and faculty at Duke. These individuals were predominantly white. For many decades, the jobs at the bottom of the economic ladder on campus were filled by the area's residents who are primarily African American. Making matters worse, many of Durham's communities of colors were research subjects for the university, while the data that these studies developed were never shared with those communities. Some people felt used by Duke. At the same time, local residents and nonprofit organizations knew that Duke's resources could be helpful to them in addressing the inequalities with which they were living. After 2 years of listening to these neighborhoods, the Duke-Durham Neighborhood Partnership was created in 1996 to focus or to create a focused goal and organized way for Duke to work with and empower the neighborhoods surrounding the university. Mamie was recruited to be part of the change. She knew Durham. Her credibility was important in facilitating the voice of the neighborhoods for which she served. Over the past several decades, Duke has participated in listening sessions and strategic planning and responded as a partner with the community to what they heard. Mamie has experienced the roller coaster ride of a dynamic, changing Durham. The historic African-American neighborhoods of her youth are now challenged to endure and adapt to the social, cultural, and economic impacts resulting from rapid growth and university expansion. Through these challenges, she has utilized her skills and experiences to foster neighborhood leadership, protect and preserve local history, and empower the historically excluded voices of residents for whom she collaborates. Duke literally took down walls and invited community folk onto campus. The Neighborhood Partnership, which works in 12 neighborhoods, has built playgrounds, opened health clinics, collaborated with nonprofits, and started after-school programs in community centers. In 2018, Duke celebrated the 20th anniversary of its tutoring program, American Reads, America Counts, where Duke students tutor students and children at schools in Durham. Duke is now considered part of Durham more than before, and the university has moved from a self-absorbed institution to a mutually beneficial partner. What a difference one person can make. Never think that you too can't make a difference. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "We cannot afford to hold personal animosities or enmities against the world or individual members of society. All such thoughts are outside the law. Love alone can beget love." People make laws. Some laws can easily identify as being for the protection of society that makes the laws, whereas others are made to protect a certain portion of that society while hurting and harming others by seeing them as being not a part of the larger society. Slavery and Jim Crow in the United States, apartheid in South Africa, and anti-Semitism in Hitler's Germany are a few such examples. In creating a world that works for all, the role and responsibility of being a spiritually mature society is certainly something worth discussing, as well as the role of spiritual laws in the creation of societal laws that demonstrate the wonder and magnificence of God in, through, and as all that is. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote this: "We can no more have an individual mind than we could have an individual ownership of the principle of mathematics or of harmony or of beauty." As a member of society who is also a practicing metaphysician, you have access to a teaching and tools that can create the structure and foundation of society. Knowing that everything begins and ends in consciousness, this week, explore your own beliefs about society and where you are open to or closed off from ideas or experiences of others. For example, are you a cisgender person who doesn't understand the needs for transgender rights and equity? Are you a white person who does not see or believe racism or colorism exists? Are you a man who does not understand or believe that women are treated any differently in the world, in business, in sports, etc., and the idea of feminism is pointless or harmful? Are you willing to explore and seek to understand any of the areas where you may be less aware or completely oblivious to another person's experience in the same society that you live in? This week, seek to learn, understand, empathize, and see how some are being denied access to the wonders of society that you readily experience. Our culture and society are deeply affected by books, film, TV, music, and especially social media. Explore and have a conversation with someone about the following quote taken from the book, The Stand by Stephen King. Show me a man or a woman alone, and I'll show you a saint. Give me two, and they'll fall in love. Give me three, and they'll invent the charming thing we call society. Give me four, and they'll build a pyramid. Give me five, and they'll make one an outcast. Give me six, and they'll reinvent prejudice. Give me seven, and in 7 years, they'll reinvent warfare. Man may have been made in the image of God, but human society was made in the image of his opposite number and is always trying to get back home. In the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes wrote this: man comes into this life subjective to the race consciousness and to his own environment. He unfolds his own personality and begins to create a new subjective thought. For years, possibly since human life first developed communication, there have been complaints and commentaries about what is wrong with the world. What is wrong with the government, churches, this country or that country, the weather, our jobs, spouses, children, etc. And the energy of those complaints has not made things better. It is only when dedicated people see a vision of change and work towards it that any effect and beneficial change have occurred. If we're going to change society, then we must begin to discuss, envision, and become the beloved, wonderful society. We're invited to release our morbid obsession of the ills of the world and society. This does not mean by bypassing those conditions or experiences. Like an emergency room physician working on a critical patient, the doctor does not ignore the illness or injury that they see. They see and work toward the patient's wholeness and wellness. We know that the science of mind gives us the same ability to see a condition and to transform, transmute, transcend in order to reveal the truth. Here's a quote from John Lennon. If everyone demanded peace instead of another television set, then there'd be peace. And yes, we need more peace, especially in this time. You may have heard it said that when the old guard dies off, then things like racism, genocide, homophobia, terrorism will vanish. Well, the old guard, however, are not people. The old guard are the systems that people have put into place, and that the systems, when left unchallenged, continue to dictate how any given society operates. Society is an agreement of the people. And if we are manifesting a world that works, that means we first manifest societies that work for all. And that means our relationships with each other and with those we may never meet who are affected by laws, policies, and our prayers. For example, in many places around the world, there are societal norms that continue to perpetrate hatred and violence against members of the LGBTQ plus community. And members of the LGBTQ plus community all around the world are impacted, even if they do not live in an oppressed culture. And within the various societal groups, there are people who choose to do the work required to change the systems, the laws, the relationships, so that everyone has equal rights and protection under the laws, and the freedom to live, being who each individualized expression of God is. Philosopher Jiddu Krishnamurti said this: "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." So this week, as you interact with the world, pause periodically and look at the societal norms you and those around you have agreed to follow through the lens of a world that works for all. As you notice things in your surroundings that are not demonstrating this vision, ask yourself, what can I do to be an ambassador of this society that works? And once you have your answer, do it. It might be volunteering at a school, helping a neighbor with yard work, speaking before Parliament about transgender rights, sending money, or going to help Haiti with their water infrastructure, or whatever other demonstration that fits your skills and needs. And it is always an invitation to treat. But this week, do so within a group and create and build the momentum of wonder as a new societal norm where you treat and collectively move your feet. And I'll leave you with these words from inventor and philosopher Buckminster Fuller. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And that brings us to our affirmation for the week. I am a powerful catalyst of love within society. And so now it's our time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is appreciated, whether it's $5 or $50 or even just the cost of a cup of coffee. And donations can be made using PayPal through our website. Our website is www.cslpv.org. When you arrive on the landing page, you'll see a donate button. And when you click on it, it will direct you to your PayPal account where you can make your donation in whichever manner you choose. If you prefer to send in a paper check, you can do so by addressing it to CSLPV number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, B1Y8N1. And now if you'd like to join me in our offertory affirmations. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies. All that I am all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for a spiritual mind treatment to assist you with your emotions or change or whatever you are experiencing in life, please connect with me. If you'd like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, or if you would like to be a member of our Board of Trustees, please contact us so that you can be sent the current forms. I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. If you're interested in learning more about the science of mind teaching, we recently offered the course, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, which was held online. And this course will be offered again in late September or early October. So connect with me or check out our website to find out the details. And let me know if there's any other course or workshop or book study that you would be interested in. And we can plan dates for those as well. And let's continue with practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create a ripple of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and love be with you. Thank you for coming and sharing this time together. Peace and blessings to all. Namaste.